Welcome to Wind Globe, where we shine a light on the parts of the world most would rather ignore. Tonight, we're diving into Kensington, Philadelphia, a neighborhood called Zombie City. Streets littered with the living dead, lost in a haze of poison. What's it like to walk those streets, to live, breathe and survive in addiction and despair? That's what we're here to find out. This is about the human condition, laid bare. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and explore the dark side of the American dream. Kensington. Daylight here isn't pretty. Boarded up row homes, faces etched with years of hard living. This neighborhood has been chewed up and spit out, factories closed, jobs disappeared, but even in the darkest corners you find glimmers of humanity. People helping people, sharing what little they have. As the sun begins its slow descent, a palpable tension creeps into the air. The shadows grow longer, and so do the lines outside the methadone clinics. What was once a struggling neighborhood transforms into something out of a nightmare. The streets fill with the ghosts of the living, their bodies ravaged by addiction, their eyes vacant and lost. This is where the predators come out to play. For the women here, the descent into darkness is even more treacherous. Let's be clear, this isn't a problem of bad choices or weak wills. This is a full-blown epidemic, a raging inferno fueled by cheap dope and a system that's more content to lock people up than to lend a helping hand. We met a young woman named Lisa who got hooked on oxy after a car accident. Now she shoots heroin just to feel normal, to quiet the demons that whisper in her ear. Lisa's story isn't unique. It's a story repeated thousands of times over in Kensington. Even in this hellscape, there are those who haven't given up. We spent a day with Prevention Point, a needle exchange program on the front lines. They provide clean needles, Narcan to reverse overdoses, and a non-judgmental ear to those who feel forgotten. They are saving lives, one needle exchange at a time, but for every person they reach, many are lost in the shadows. There's a saying here: Kensington has no laws. Open-air drug markets operate in broad daylight. The police? They're present, but it feels more like containment. A shop owner poured his life savings into this neighborhood. He lives in constant fear of being robbed. The people feel abandoned by those sworn to protect them. Kensington has become a no-man's land. Kensington wasn't always this way. Old-timers remember a thriving working-class neighborhood, a place where families put down roots and kids played stickball in the streets. Those days are long gone. The businesses that haven't boarded up their windows are barely holding on. But even amidst the decay, there are glimmers of hope. We visited a community garden, a splash of color and life in a sea of concrete and despair. It's impossible to talk about Kensington without talking about the physical reality of the streets. The sidewalks are littered with tents, makeshift shelters for those who have nowhere else to go. The stench of human waste and garbage permeates the air. And then there are the needles, discarded everywhere, like grim reminders of the addiction that's eating away at this community. We watched as a group of volunteers, armed with trash bags and rubber gloves, worked tirelessly to clean up the debris. What's perhaps most disturbing about Kensington is how quickly the chaos becomes normalized. People walk past scenes of open drug use without batting an eyelid. Children navigate sidewalks littered with needles as if it's just another obstacle course. This is their normal. But even here, there are those who refuse to let the darkness win. We met with a group of residents who are working to create safe spaces, pockets of normalcy in the midst of the chaos. Kensington is a microcosm of a crisis that's gripping our nation. From rural towns to bustling cities, the opioid epidemic is leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. And it's not just about drugs, it's about poverty, about mental health, about the systemic failures that have created this perfect storm. We need to stop treating addiction as a moral failing and start treating it like the public health crisis that it is. The people of Kensington deserve better, and frankly, so do we. Kensington, Zombie City. It's easy to look away, to write it off as a lost cause, but these are human beings, our fellow citizens trapped in a cycle of addiction and despair. We've seen the darkness, the desperation, the raw underbelly of American society, but we've also seen the resilience, the compassion, the unwavering belief in the possibility of redemption. So, what's your take? How do we fix this? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Because this isn't just their fight, it's ours.